Okay, ExDeath's castle. We got a massive checklist for this place, so we better get started here. To reach ExDeath's castle from Moor, you want to fly south, in between this crack in the mountains, and then you want to keep going down. Just follow this peninsula, and right about this spot, you want to go west. All the way to the left, past the ocean, and now we're back at ExDeath's castle. So you want to land the Hiryu on this tile, because the Hiryu speak about this, he can only roost on plain tiles, and there just aren't any better spots around ExDeath's castle, so this is as far as we can take him before having to walk what remains. And on step route, you want 8 steps before entering the castle, but you also need to have a step in the middle of that. So you want to do 3 steps to the right, and before touching the mountain, you want to have a step into it. And now we can do the proper setup. So first off, Faris goes to the second slot of the party, so that Lena leads instead. And Lena is going to be our primary guild tosser until the final boss, so it's beneficial for us that she is on the first slot. Makes it easier to mix dragon power onto her. It's a little better. And you also want to switch Lena's skill through the ability menu. I guess you could switch her to Thief and then access abilities is that way, but this is more convenient. You don't have to switch jobs. You still want back attack protection from Thieves. And Lena is going to set up the escape command. She should have picked this from the Seal Guardians, and it's going to aid us fleeing encounters on ExDeath's castle, which is especially important as sort of a step manipulation because we have to find a couple formations for a route setup. And you're going to optimize Lena, yeah. Because Galuf died, the game took off his equipment, and now the Coronet and the Bone Mail are available for setup, but you also need to remove the Dancing Dagger from Lena so we can pass that onto Bartz. And okay, Bartz is up next. You're going to put him as a mediator. Just press up from Knight, just takes a single input and no skill, but optimize for the +3 agility. Between the Dancing Dagger and the Speed Gear, Bartz can barely outrun Magic Dragons on ExDeath's castle, so we can catch them before they get a chance to attack. And the same deal for Kara, mediator, no skill, optimize for the speed. She's very naturally fast, so she will have no issues outpacing things. Bartz will struggle a bit though. But that's it for the setup. Faris stays as a chemist on Giltos because she has to keep working on mix. She will pick this on the way. And we can venture inside ExDeath's castle where pain and suffering await, of course. And the second floor, you want to touch the pillar here and then run away like a coward. Then we just have to kill the Danger Raid just to eliminate a couple encounters on this room and the next one. Here you want to be careful about the corner. And here, if I keep holding the run button and press left, you might notice that after I cross this gap, the game slows me down. There is an event tile here, but what you're supposed to do is step over it, but go back, and this is what makes the cutscene happen. Also, the danger rate is like 1 step away from an encounter, so we are going to refresh the danger rate through this cutscene. But now, Kelger, the last standing Warrior of Dawn, finally perishes to help us dispel the illusion on ExDeath's castle. Now it's all gory and bloody, and we can fully explore it. It's fitting for the final Dungeon of World 2, isn't it? Okay, before advancing we need 8 steps, so I like going below the stairs and then go to the left, touch the wall, and then ascend to the 4th floor. This is where we're going to perform the Magic Dragon catch. You need a couple Magic Dragons for merging, because upon release they use Flame. It works exactly the same like Liquid Flame is cast, where it cuts down 25% of the target's max HP, but merging is also weak to fire, so it's going to double in damage and we're just going to roast her with the Magic Dragons. But we're also looking to find an encounter that gives 6 AP so that Faris can finish the mix command. So I guess you could do 3 individual Magic Dragons if you're having issues here, but as a speedrun, it's just faster to do it all on the same encounter. So first off, we're going to get a rando here. We just want to flee from this because killing this wouldn't be beneficial for the speedrun. But here's the encounter we're looking for. 3 dragons, 1 rabbit, 1 wolf. First, we're going to defend with Lena, and then Giltos with Faris. She should have the memory cursor, and because she's level 17, she's going to be at a damage range where she can put the dragons on critical HP on a single Giltos. So immediately afterwards, you want to catch with the mediators in the hopes that they snipe magic dragons before they get a chance to attack. And the bunny and the wolf will certainly die, so you can use target catch. It's going to redirect towards the magic dragons, but because I got a preemptive, they even get a chance to attack. But anyway, after catching a couple, you want to defend with Lena, kill the last magic dragon so you can win the encounter and get the AP. And this way, Faris finally has the mix command. So now we have a couple mix users to help support the guild tosser in battle. We can mix dragon power twice as fast now, and it's going to be a great help that way. So we're going to maintain the same setup until the Dragon Fang dupe. We have escape, that will be enough for Nis. You want to take this hidden passage outside of a step route too, because it's faster, less distance. And over here, you just want to keep going up, cross this hidden passage, go down on the steps. It's a nice shortcut. Here on the 6th floor, we need 10 steps. So you want to touch the platform here from this tile, and then go back to refresh the danger rate, and now we can cross this room without any randos on the way. And you also can go inside the lava from these stairs, and you need to do this because besides the fact that it's faster, it's a shortcut, you are also going to set the party on critical HP, because every time you walk in lava you get hurt severely, but the lava cannot kill you. So we're going to set up a guard tanking strat. Walking on the lava is necessary to cut down our health, but now we can keep going up. And here is the bridge room. This is where we're going to do the Dragon Fang dupe, so we have to set up the party for that. Kara needs to be a ninja for duping, just one ninja list, and set up the smoke command just as a backup in case we need to run away, and optimize, yeah. But remove the kunai so that we have the hands empty to equip Kara with the Mithril Knife mid-battle so we can perform the item dupe. But you don't want her to have too much agility because for setups later, something or other. But Faris will become a thief with combined for agility, but you do need a couple agility points on Kara so that she can outpace Faris and make it a little easier to set up the dupe that way. So no equipment on Faris, we just want the raw stats. And now Lena will become our knight. She's going to guard tank for this battle. So set up escape so we can flee once the dupe is done and over with. And optimize Lena for the bone mail and the coronet, just some defense, and the Aegis shield for full elevation. It's going to help us tank the dragons we're going to dupe on. And set Barnes as thief with combine as well to help us set up. And the high potion Lena so that she can tank a couple attacks as the battle starts. And you also want to switch the high potion to the first slot of the inventory so that it's right above the Dragon Fangs and it's a little easier to access for menus. This is just a personal preference, you can put the high potions wherever you want. But that's it. Okay, yeah, we're ready for the dupe. For the step route, before the stepping on the school here, I was going to make the bridge move. We're going to take 8 steps, and so we need to walk to the wall all the way to the left, but the encounter is going to happen one tile to the left from the skull. So you want to look specifically for a blue dragon, because they have Dragon Fangs as a common steal, and I also got a preemptive, which is very fortunate. But we're going to dupe on them. This is very similar to the leader dupe, so I'm going to skip the basic functions of iron duping, but we have to do something differently here to make up for the fact that we cannot consume Dragon Fangs to further underflow the item slot once we steal them. So first off, we're going to set up the Mithril Knife and then toss the empty slot where the Mithril Knife was to underflow it. Then we're going to mix Maiden's Kiss plus Revivify on the dragons. This results on Kiss of Blessing. It's a buff, more or less, that inflicts haste, blink, and berserk on the target, so it's very useful for physical damage, physical combat. But we are looking for the berserk effect, so that we can crowd control the dragons, because they have the chance of using AoE techs. But if that happens, they are going to destroy the party, so we set up berserk on them, so that they only fight. Berserk overrides AI scripts and forces the target to only fight and do nothing but fight. so there is nothing else the dragons can do. And now that Lena has guarded, we are totally invulnerable to physical damage, so we can do the setup long term and not have to worry about our survival. Lena will protect the party, so we're going to be fine here. Now, the difference in the setup here is that we're going to throw the empty slot once again, so that it underflows to 254. But the side effect of this is that we can only dupe 99 Dragon Fangs this way. The reason for this is that because we cannot consume the Dragon Fangs like we did with the Ethers back at the Ancient Library, we just cannot take the item and underflow it to a value that the game can interpret. So to circumvent this, we throw the empty slot twice, so that it goes to 99 Dragon Fangs instead, and we can take this out of the battle that way. But yeah, once that's on, you just want to defend, and if you reach Lena or Carry Storm, you want to issue a runaway. And now we have 99 Dragon Fangs for further enjoyment down the line. We can mix Dragon Power permanently, and this also sells for a stupid amount of money, 2500 per Dragon Fang. So even though we don't have the max amount of items we can dupe out of this, we still have more than enough. This will be plenty to help us get through the rest of the game. But yeah, that's it for the Dragon Fang dupe. Outside of step manipulation, you might want to set up Giltos and Lena, I guess, just to have access to the command. Because, well, first off, we need to complete the steps. 8 steps before touching the skull here. But here you have a little minigame where you can place the bridge after confirming. And you just want to continue, reach the stairs. So the time here is not very tricky. But the problem can arise if you do a mistake and touch the columns instead. Cannot touch this even if I wanted to. Because then you get a mandatory encounter and you cannot flee. These encounters are impossible to run away from. If you try using smoke, then you are screwed. So your recourse for this are killing the encounters. So there are a couple of ways you can handle most of this. Well, first off, the easy solution is mixing Death Potion, mix Dark Matter with the Phoenix Down, but you will have to get another Dark Matter on the Void if this happens, which we cannot afford on the step route. So your recourse, if you cannot mix Death Potion, is if mixing something else instead. We're going to do Dragon Power on Kara, because let's assume that you forgot to set up Giltos on Lena like I have here. You can then throw the Kunai. We have 12 of this, so it will be plenty to work with while we kill the encounters. So you can face an Imp, that guy there whose name I won't try pronouncing. And you can face an Abductor as well. For the Abductor, what you might want to do is mix Dark Sai on them. Dark Sai is Eye Drop plus Dragon Fang that inflicts blind, sap, and confusion on the target. So that is excellent crowd control. The Abductor will just hit itself, and you will be able to keep mixing on Kara to keep throwing Giltos or the Kunai until you kill the Abductor. The real issue with this portion are the Gajra Master. I don't know, it's the Black Imp guy who is extremely difficult to kill because he's got a ton of defense. So let me see if I can poke him on this column, because the columns have different encounters, it's weird. But he's very rare. The problem with that guy is that he has too much defense, way too much. So even if you start mixing like mad Dragon Power or Dragon Power to enhance Giltos, here he is. It's not going to work out because he has too much defense, so you will have to make up with a lot of Dragon Fangs in order to make that happen. So here I got you, my friend, the godlike strats. You wanted to defend, and when available, well, first off you want to crowd control the little friend here with Dark Side to confuse him. Now we're going to heal up Faris so that we can mix something else. So guard with Lena. You cannot escape from this encounter. Everything on the column is you cannot run away from. But yeah, now you're going to mix a Dragon Fang with a Dragon Fang. This results in Dragon Breath, and this inflicts the same amount of damage that you have as your current HP. So this is more or less how you can bypass this guy's defense. But this is a really serious strat, and honestly you're just better off using that potion if you have to encounter this. But I'm giving you options in case you have to battle anything here on the bridge. But yeah, even though this guy is the hardest to kill, he has the least HP, the 666 health, so a couple dragon breaths is enough to take him out. But yeah, that is the trickiest encounter that you can do here by far. Now, for the step route, if you didn't place the bridge dead center, you want to take a couple of steps before advancing, but I already took the steps by placing the bridge on the sides, so I can just continue now. And now it's only a path towards exit. We got everything we need with the magic dragons and the dragon fangs. So on the 8th floor, you want to go up, go one tile to the right, and then go back to refresh the danger rate. So now we can cross with a random encounter. Kara still has smoke, so she can escape from encounters if she needs to. But from this point forward, if you mess up the step route, you will be fine. We don't have to find any more formations after this. And the step route is mostly a luxury to eliminate random encounters. So if you get an extra formation, you can just attempt to recover step route and it will be okay. You don't have to worry about encounters now. Okay, here on the 10th floor on this side, you want to go up, take 4 steps, then go back down. Same deal in this room, 4 steps, and then go back up to kill a couple encounters and take down this bridge. So you just want to stick to the border, touch this skull to make the bridge reappear. And then we have the final save point room. You can save here if you want the safety. And then there is a Excalibur chest. There is a couple... Not a couple, there is 4 event tiles all surrounding the chest. So you just want to walk over one of them to eliminate one step from the total step count. And now we are at ExDeath's room. Oh man, this is the last tile you can walk into. Now for this boss we are going to... Okay, first off we need Guiltos again. So Lena is going to become more Guiltoser now. Chemis is a Guiltos so that she can work on mix long term, and Kara will be our knight. You can press right and down to do this a little faster, because if you press right you also scroll through the jobs, through your characters rather than if you press down you can sort of input down twice and reach Kara a little faster there. Now you want to turn Kara into a knight. She's going to guard tank for the party and set up Guiltos. Yeah, this is for Anglion. Then optimize and equip a mithril knife to take off the dancing dagger off of Kara. So I am pretty sure that now Lena and Kara speed tie, but because Kara has so much equipment weight, Lena will outpace her on the turn sequence. But if it weren't for the dancing dagger, if Kara has the dancing dagger equipped, then this would not be possible. Then she would outpace Lena and that would mess up the turn sequence. So that's sad. You want to high potion Kara, of course, so that she is capable of tanking. Leave the others on critical health. And we can battle ExDeath, the final battle of World 2. And a proper showcase of how destructive Mix is in conjunction with Guiltos. This battle is a lot fancier on Death by My routes because you just kill ExDeath first round, but we don't have access to that. We will have to do a more complex setup. Okay, so first off, ExDeath opens the battle with either a physical attack or Condemned. You need a Bone Mail to tank out the physical attack, it's really strong. Condemned doesn't matter even if it hits Lena. This puts a timer on your character, and when that hits 0, your character will automatically die. So first off, you want to mix Dragon Power onto Lena with both Thieves. Mix it a couple times, so that's a couple Dragon Powers there. And then Lena is going to drink a speed drink. If you don't have this for whatever reason, you can compensate with a mix. You can mix a Turtle Shell plus an eye drop for Hasty Aid, which casts haste on the target. So that way you can continue with the battle. You would have to Guiltos if instead if that were the case, but I have the speed drink. I can stick with the script. And then Kara is lower than Lena, can guard, tank. And the thing about ExDeath is that in his first 4 rounds, he either does a support tech or he attacks physically. So for the first 4 rounds of combat, we are safe. And we have to kill ExDeath in the meanwhile. So Lena comes up again, Guiltos, and now mix one last Dragon Power, and Lena has enough levels to take out ExDeath's now. So something about Condemn is that even if he hits Lena, you will be fine, because Condemn normally gets come down in half in the timer, but you should have enough time to respond to it and still kill ExDeath's on time before the counter on Lena hits 0. So Condemn doesn't matter, don't just stick to the script, be fast about your inputs. It was actually a little slow here, like my turn sequence got messed up because I was explaining things and my ATVs kept advancing, so I'm probably going to set up battle speed 5 for the rest of the round to ensure that doesn't happen, because you cannot afford hesitation in these battles. Right by the tiered Giltos, ExDeath's switches AI scripts and he can start spamming tier black magic spells on the party, which bypass guard, and you will die if that happens. So just Giltos 4 times and make sure haste is up on Lena, just so that you hit the benchmarks, and that's it for World 2. The crystal shatter, and we end up on World 3 right in front of Tycoon Castle. Entering this world, we have to be at 72 total steps.